got herself in the head. I need an ambulance, please. I need somebody here. I need somebody here, please. I need somebody here.
Yes, sir. I can get the route for you, okay? But you just try to calm down for me. I got the mobile line for you, okay?
Oh, Jesus. I need somebody here. I need somebody here.
Emergency.
571 Bellmead Place.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Is this a house or an apartment?
This is a duplex. It's a duplex.
Okay. What is your telephone number just in case we get disconnected?
It's 478. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
Sorry, next time it's not the same okay? Now, just the question, how old is he?
She's 40. I'm 45. I'm 45. I'm 46. She's 46.
Okay. Is she awake right now?
No, ma'am. She's not responding. She's not moving. She's not moving.
Okay. Is she breathing?
Let me look at it. Kendra. Kendra. She's not breathing.
Okay.
She's not breathing. I'm trying to move her.
Okay.
I'm trying to move her. She's not moving.
Okay.
She's not moving. We were.
Okay. Well, I need to get right down there next to her, okay? Is she on her belly? Is she on her back?
She's on her stomach. I was trying to take the gun away from her. I'm finna try to do. I'm a CPR instructor. I'm trying to do CPR on her.
Okay. Well, I need to get her on her back, but I need to see further or not from her side.
I'm trying to do CPR.
Okay.
I'm in the military. I'm trying to do CPR on her.
Okay. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I was trying to take it from her. 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 I was trying to take it from her, David. I was trying to take it from her. David, Jesus, why do you want to do this to me?
She gave him her heart, he gave her betrayal, a mother of 3, a trusted pastor, and a love triangle that ended in tragedy. This is not just a story of heartbreak. It's a chilling tale of manipulation, deception, and murder. Let's get into it. "46-year-old Kendra Jackson was a divorced mom of 3 who worked as a personal banker at the BB&T branch near Macon Mall. She was known in her community for being outgoing and loving, and was described as the perfect balance of classy and sassy. She met a 47-year-old man named William C. Pounds III. He was a pastor who served at King's Chapel Memorial CME Church in Perry, Georgia. He was also a senior master sergeant in the Air National Guard and worked at Robins Air Force Base. They met at another local bank in 2000 and dated off and on for a decade and a half. Years prior to her passing, they had been engaged to be married. But unbeknownst to her, she wasn't the only woman that William promised marriage to. William was leading a deceptive double life for 10 years. It was discovered that the pastor had 2 women at the same time, Kendra and another woman named Lucinda Crawford, whom he met in 2005, and they both believed they were his true love. When the women discovered each other, they confronted William, but he was able to convince each woman that he had left the other and wanted to be with her. But the 2 women discovered that that was a lie when they both showed up at his church to surprise him on National Pastor Appreciation Day. This prompted the 2 women to start texting each other, and these texts led the women to discover that William was a 2-timer. Through the texts, the women consoled each other over their situation. But despite the cheating, one of the women, Lucinda, decided to stay in the relationship and so she and William were set to wed on June 12, 2015. But in the early hours of June 12, 2015, on the day of the wedding, Kendra was discovered dead from a gunshot wound to the head in the upstairs of William's bedroom. After she died, William told people varying accounts of what happened. He also told dispatch that Kendra shot herself while trying to grab the gun, but then changed his story, saying that he was trying to take the gun away from her when it went off. This would later be debunked, as it was supported by forensics that there was no evidence that she had a gun in her hand. Then he had told police that he and Kendra had an argument where he told her that he no longer wanted to be in a relationship with her. He said that Kendra then said, "If we're going to separate, then one of us is going to have to leave the world." He said Kendra walked to his dresser and picked up a handgun and pressed it to her head. He said he tried to lunge for her to stop her from harming herself, but it was too late. In another account, he distanced himself from the shooting, telling a first responder that he wasn't even there when she unalived herself and was instead downstairs when it happened. He then gave another account where he said that he called his buddy and told him that he had come home early from a trip to Dallas and argued with Kendra about her cheating, and that she grabbed his pistol and used it on herself. William later spoke with Sergeant Shelley Rutherford at the scene and told her that he and Kendra were lying in bed together, having a conversation, which turned into an argument about the relationship. Kendra then got up, dressed, went to his side of the bed, and grabbed his gun from the drawer chest. She then went to the foot of the bed and pointed the gun at him. He said he thought she was going to shoot him, so he went under the covers, moved to the end of the bed, and tried to grab the gun, touching it before it went off. At around 5:30 a.m., William gave the sergeant a formal statement, stating that on the day of the shooting, he spoke with Kendra about ending the relationship. She started screaming and repeated that if she couldn't have him, neither of them would live. He tried talking her down and tried grabbing the gun. She turned it from pointing at him to herself. He remembered hearing one gunshot. He then put his pants on, called 911, turned Kendra over, and tried to resuscitate her. He first said that she had a gun in her left hand and her pocketbook in her right, but later said that it was possible that the gun was on her right hand. Although William's statement was provided, things were still not adding up. William stated that he heard one gunshot, but at the crime scene, police discovered 2 bullets had been fired, one into Kendra's head and another into William's bed, which raised more suspicions as the bed was made up, even though he told authorities that he was in bed when it happened. So it looked as if William had tidied up and made his bed to hide the bullet hole. But police were stumped because there were no bullet casings in the room. When questioned, William repeatedly said he didn't remove anything from the room or alter the scene in any way. And in his statement, William said that he tried to resuscitate her, but he had no blood on him except for a tiny trace of it on his pants, which was inconsistent with the way blood would be transferred in such a scenario. So on June 18, 2015, Sergeant Rutherford and Sergeant Roy Williams, a crime scene investigator, returned to the shooting scene and listened to the 911 call. They observed the inconsistencies regarding who was taking the gun from whom. Also, they heard a toilet flushing during the call. While they couldn't confirm it, they believed that that could have been the sound of William getting rid of evidence, like the missing bullet casings. Investigators continued to focus on William's version of the deadly event and forensic evidence inconsistent with an unaliving. The palm of Kendra's left hand, the one in which William said she held the gun, was covered with blood, and there had been dried blood on the floor, which made his timeline of events questionable. Investigators were convinced that this was nothing more than a homicide, and so William was arrested in August 2015. His bond was set at $500,000. His congregation rallied around him for support and helped to raise money for his release. But William violated conditions of his release, and so his bond was revoked. William maintained his innocence, and so this case went to trial. William's murder trial began in October 2017, and during the trial, William was seen reading and praying over a Bible. Prosecutors accused him of using it as a facade to manipulate the jury and suggested that he should have spent more time reading the Bible instead of juggling 2 fiancées. It appeared to be true, as the evidence presented at the trial made him look guilty as sin. An expert in crime scene reconstruction and blood pattern analysis testified that it had to have been at least 10 minutes that Kendra was lying face down before William turned her over to resuscitate her, and that William didn't immediately call 911 as there was a 7.5 delay between the injury and the 911 call. And the expert added that he was sure that Kendra was not standing when she was shot, and that her head was below the level of the bed at the time of the shooting, which could explain the dried blood discovered on the floor. Prosecutors argued strongly against the unaliving theory and incorporated testimonies from Kendra's co-workers and a witness with knowledge of the pastor's abusive ways. 2 of Kendra's co-workers testified that she loved her life and had spoken about future plans with William, friends, or family. They also testified that Kendra told them if it was said that she took her life, to not believe it. Kendra's daughter also testified that at around 2007 or 2008, William had hit Kendra and gave her a black eye. And around 2009, William went to her home, kicked down her door, forced Kendra into his car, and drove away with her. Evidence from the crime scene, combined with expert testimonies, and even William's own tongue, convinced the jury of 7 women and 5 men to find him guilty of malice murder. The judge called William a liar, a manipulator, and a charlatan before sentencing him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The other woman, Vicinda, was able to move forward with her life, where she went back to school and became a professor. She also spoke out about forgiveness and healing, which she talks about in her book, Betrothed to a Charlatan Preacher.
It's still a process. But the easy part is really forgiving someone else. I have no problem forgiving them and letting it go. My issue is forgiving myself. I'm very hard on myself. Why did I stay in this relationship for over 10 years and not move forward, and we hadn't gotten married? So I just knew I had to forgive him. And through the healing, I had to get a better understanding on it was, what he was going through is what he was going through, and who he was had nothing to do with who I was. And it was very, very hard to accept that I could not see it, especially being what happened, why I could not figure this person out when everybody around me could see the evilness that was coming out of him. So bottom line, to completely open up, people had kept telling me to write my story. And something propelled in the news that became a TV show pushed me to make that decision to write my story. So yes, I have a book that is coming out that's going to process from day one all the way to the trial, and to put this out for people to understand how I went through the process and how I'm still sitting here.
Kendra Jackson's story is a heartbreaking reminder of how deception can wear even the most trusted masks. A pastor, a fiancé, a so-called man of God. William Pounds fooled many, but justice wasn't fooled in the end. What are your thoughts on this case? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Your support is greatly appreciated. See you next time on Melanin Mysteries.